Here is a quick tutorial on how to find the volume of a sphere. First thing I need to do is make sure I know my formula for the volume of a sphere, which is very different than our other two formulas that we have been working with, because we are going to cube the radius this time instead of square it. We are going to cube the radius instead of squaring it, and we're going to multiply by 4/3 instead of no thirds or 1/3 for a cone. So here is our formula for the volume of a sphere. The second thing that we have to do is make sure we know what our r is, right? Our r is our radius. So let's look at this sphere right here. It looks like a height, doesn't it? It looks like a height. But let's think about what a sphere is, right? It's a circle. It's like a 3D circle. So if we're looking at our height as 12, isn't that also the diameter? That's the diameter. So then all we have to think about is what is half of the diameter? That will be our radius. So half of 12 is 6. So I know my radius from here to here is 6. Now I can plug and chug. Okay, here we go. 4/3 times pi. Remember, you can use a dot for multiplication. Times that radius to the third power. So how are we going to do this fraction? Let's leave the fraction for last, okay? Let's do PEMDAS. So parentheses, then exponents next. Let's do our exponents. So we have 6 to the third power. I'm just going to use my calculator. And this button right here will let me do it to any power. So I'm going to show you two ways to do to the third power. I know that 6 to the third power means 6 times 6 times 6. So that's the first way I can do it. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. The other way I can do it is try and figure out how to use this to the any power button. Let's try first to put in a 6 and then press it. That's the way you do it on this calculator. So you put my 6 in. Now it's asking me to raise it to the third power. Bam, I get 216. Okay, so I know that part's 216. Now I'm going to multiply it times 3.14. 216 times 3.14 equals 678.24. What is 678.24? It is 3.14 times 6 to the third power. Now we have to figure out how are we going to multiply it times this 4/3. Well, the way I like to do it is take the top number and multiply, and take the bottom one and divide. Watch this. Take the top number and multiply, and then take the bottom number and divide. I still have 4/3 there. See my fraction? But my numerator can be multiplied times all these things that are actually in a numerator, right? Can I put anything over 1? So it's like this 4 is on the top with these 3 guys, or these other 2 numbers. So I'm going to multiply my top number and then divide by my bottom number. So 678.24 times 4. And then I am going to divide by 3. 904.32. So the answer to this is the volume of that sphere is 904.32 centimeters cubed. Voila. So probably the two most important things here, well, 3 most, get your formula right. Find your radius and make sure you have a radius, not a diameter. Third thing is when you're multiplying by 4/3, you're actually going to multiply by the numerator, the 4, and then divide by the denominator, the 3.